Are you currently living in the UK on a skilled worker visa? Are you wondering if you can change your employer? And also, are you skeptical about your odds? Are you asking yourself, is this even possible? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. On a condition that you do it properly, this is highly possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you the eligibility that you need, what the requirements are, and step by step on how you can achieve the change of your employment. So stay and watch this video to the end if this is about you. And along the way, if you find this video helpful, kindly subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell for a lot of updates concerning travel and relocation news. So let's get started in this video. Do you know that when you are in the UK and you are currently working on a skilled worker visa, you cannot just up and resign because it's going to affect you in the future? What you have to do, first of all, is to make sure that you are currently working before your change of employer. Now, one thing you need to understand is that the new employer that you are going for, make sure that they are eligible to give COS, that's certificate of sponsorships, to foreigners, because not all employers are eligible. They do not have the license to give to foreigners working under their company and here in the UK. So you want to stay in your current job while you search for a new employer with licenses to give foreign workers certificates of sponsorships before you resign your current job. Now, after you find a new employer, the employer issues you a certificate of sponsorship. That doesn't mean that you can automatically start working for your new employer and resign your current work. What you're supposed to do is to apply to selling the home office that you've gotten a new employer who has issued you a certificate of sponsorship, and you want to update your information on your job, on your skill worker. And when you do that, then you can now wait for approval, because home office has to approve you before you start working. You do not just go and start the new job before your approval. When you do that, you can have problems with your right to stay in the UK. So you need to be very sure that you wait patiently for your approval. Don't assume you are already approved and you start working. If you do that, you could get into trouble, a whole lot of trouble. These are the steps you need to follow to make the change of employment when you are currently living in the UK. The step one is to find your current employer, and your current employer must have eligible licenses for sponsorship. The employer must be eligible, because you do not want to just go and work where you will not be eligible for sponsorship. That won't favor you, because not all employers, like I said earlier, not all employers give sponsorship lines sponsorship certificates to employees. So, and then the second thing under step one is to make sure that you meet your salary that you're going to be receiving from your new employer is going to cut the salary gap that is recommended or required in the UK. So you would like to go for a higher salary compared to your current employment that you receive. And then you also have to make sure that your certificate of sponsorship that is issued to you is totally valid. It's always they give you just the reference numbers since you're already in the UK, and that is what you use to update Home Office that you are changing your employment status to your current one. And then the third step is you apply to update your skilled worker visa. That is under your visa application. Make sure that you have your passport, your certificate of sponsorship reference number, your proof of identity, you have any supporting document actually that the Home Office requires you to to update with. And then the last step is to wait for a decision from the Home Office. Do not just jump into the new job. You need to wait for Home Office to send you an approval letter via email or whatsoever, and then you can be able to start your new job so you do not have issues. After submitting your application, please wait for approval. Do not make this mistake. Now, these are the common mistakes that you have to avoid. You do not resign your current job before starting your new job. Do not resign. And also, don't assume that your current sponsor has the license to give you certificate of sponsorship. You need to ask questions. It's very, very important that you ask questions and be sure of what you are doing. And then do not allow your visa to expire before applying for this visa again. Don't allow the current visa you are on in the UK to expire before you apply to update your current employer change. And then, do you have to leave the UK? These are common questions people ask. Do you have to leave the UK? Absolutely not. If your current visa hasn't expired yet, you don't have to leave the UK. You make sure that you get a new sponsorship and change. If you are displaced, if you've ever encountered or heard of people that have given ghost jobs, and that is one of the reasons why some companies loses their licenses. So yes, that is one. And then, will your visa expiring date change? Absolutely, maybe not. It depends on how long your new employer's certificate of sponsorship is going to last for. So if your new job requires you to stay longer, then you stay longer. If it requires you to work shorter, then you work shorter. So final thoughts on this. Changing visa sponsorship in the UK is actually very possible, but it's not automatic. Always make sure your new employer is an approved sponsor. Apply before making the switch, and wait until you have the legal right to start your new job before you start. Don't just start. And then if you find this video helpful, kindly subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell for a lot of updates concerning travel and relocation news.